The Olympics end, NASCAR returns, and Austin Dillon saves his season in Richmond. But it wasn't without controversy, of course. Welcome into Daytona Beach Motor Mouths. That is Ken Willis. I am not Ryan Pritt, as Ryan announced last week, or on his last episode a couple weeks ago.
Where is he?
I know. I'm looking for him too. Do I have to fake a Chris Collinsworth accent or something to make you feel more comfortable, more at home?
I'm never comfortable, so you don't have to do a thing.
There you go. I am Chris.
Listen, I'll have you know though, I am always here. I'm always here, years and years and years. I'm the Cal Ripken of Motor Mouths.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Cal Ripken Jr., by the way.
You just won't go away, Ken.
I'm starting to look more like Cal Sr., but yeah, Cal Jr.
Racing this week. It was an interesting ending. What the heck happened?
It wasn't very subtle. Bull in a china shop is what that was. There's poor Austin Dillon. He had the race won. He was 3.2 seconds ahead with a couple laps left to run, cruising, and right in front of him, Ricky Stenhouse and Ryan Preece run into each other entering turn one. There's conflicting opinions as to who was at fault there, but that happened right in front of Dillon. Could have taken him out. I mean, he avoided it. So now they go to yellow. They put on the fast tires. Everybody does. They line up. Dillon lines up next to Joey Logano. Logano gets a jump at the start, has the lead comfortably after the first lap of a 2-lap overtime shootout. Going into turn 3, I think it was Steve Letarte up in the NBC booth said, if he catches him, there will be contact, talking about Dillon. But he was 4 or 5 car lengths behind him. But the car in front, Logano had to slow to get through turns 3 and 4, as everybody does. Dillon decided not to slow, and the only thing that was going to stop him from wrecking going through turn 3 was to just run into the back of Logano and wreck Logano. And that's what he did. And then he came off turn 4, made a little turn to the left, and took out Denny Hamlin as he was going to the lead. Gets the win. Everybody's upset. Oh, my goodness. This is more the fallout from this. I mean, I'm trying to remember the last time we had a fallout like this from a race, a controversial win. And so anyway, we learned the difference. Joey Logano inadvertently taught us a lesson here. There's a difference between BS and CS. BS comes from a bull, the rear flank of a bull, while CS comes from a chicken. Joey referred to it as a CS move. And in our NASCAR This Week page this week, I do us all a favor and explain the difference between BS and CS. And CS is not good. BS, you might con or trick your buddy out of his lunch money in the courtyard at school. CS, you just flat out pick his pocket. You steal it from him when he's not looking. So that was and ironically, CS, which was how Joey described Austin Dillon's move, came from acting like a bull in a china shop, which might make you think it's more BS, but no, it's CS. And there's an art to this. There's some intricacies you got to understand, and it's not for everybody, although I've talked about it plenty so far. But anyway, everybody's the crowd, what there was, seemed to be happy because it was the black number 3 car winning the race, and they're all for that, and coincidentally, he was the moves he made weren't too unfamiliar to former Dale Earnhardt fans. I mean, he could get a little rough around the edges when it was time to win. So it was odd. There's a lot of storylines here, but suffice to say that this is the day after that race, and now tomorrow will be Tuesday as we're taping this. And that is a day that NASCAR issues penalties, if there are penalties to be issued on a weekly basis. So we'll see what they do. My guess is there will probably, after reviewing everything, there will probably be maybe a points penalty, a fine, maybe, who knows, maybe even a suspension for a week. But they will not take away the win, is my guess. They don't like to take away victories. So I don't know what you have to do in this case then to get a victory taken away from you. But Denny Hamlin said that there is a line that can't be crossed, but unfortunately that line seems to be invisible, so nobody knows where that line is, so we'll see.
Yeah, Denny also saying we have no real officiating. That's an exact quote. We have no real officiating in this sport, and it'll never be taken seriously because of that. What do you make of that?
All pretty good points. I mean, never thought we'd get to the day when Denny Hamlin could occasionally be the voice of reason, but he is kind of, when he's not saying something a little nutty or doing something a little nutty, he's been pretty good here in the last few years, and he makes a really good point. But would they look, they take the win away, and that kind of confuses people too. I mean, it's all about trying to get the casual fan to watch, and some people are saying that this kind of turns the casual fan off. The best point about it all, in terms of negative connotations about what Dillon did, was hearing Austin or hearing Denny and maybe even Joey, but I think it was more Denny, saying all the young drivers in the lower series, ARCA, trucks, whatever, and then lower than that at the weekly short tracks, the late model series, these up and coming, these 16, 17-year-old drivers, they see this and they think, that's the way we race now. So now you're going to have guys at the little bull rings all across the country think, this is the way to race. Now you're going to have a lot of people who are scratching to save enough money to go racing. They're going to be having their stuff torn up more than they ever have. If, and it's already probably happening to a certain degree. Then you throw in the fact that these cars have never been safer. And so there's the repercussions of what might happen if you wreck somebody. That equation, that has been lowered, and that the safety aspect has been lowered over the past 20-something years. So it all combines to make a muddled mess, and which is what we saw Sunday night from Richmond, which, when you're looking for content, and you're looking for people to talk about your product, boy, it's just, in the short term, it's great. In the long term, I'm not sure what it'll do, but we'll always find out, like we always have.
Yeah, Dillon even said, I think we're trending on Twitter right now, which they were, of course.
Yeah. I did not see him say that. I don't know if he was saying it as a joke or if he was actually talking about it like it was a positive thing. And who's not? I guess some people will say it's a positive thing, but I don't know. In terms of long-term health of the competition and whatnot, you gotta wonder if it just becomes. What if this happens at Phoenix at the championship race, the last lap, and let's say that leader and the guy chasing him are both trying to win the championship. They're one of the final four drivers with a chance. I mean, what in hell keeps you from just wrecking the guy in front of you if you get a chance, So
we put a poll up on our website, and
we did
something along the lines of do you agree with Austin Dillon? Was he in the right here, or is it more, do you agree with Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano? Put yourself in Austin Dillon's shoes. He's got this long losing or winless streak. He's sitting 30th in points. He jumps to 13th with a win last night. What do you what do you make of that? Or where would
that's elite?
You agree with his strategy?
I voted in our poll. Can I do that? Is that against the rules?
Well,
one man, one vote, and I said no, it was not a proper move because I'm a big picture guy, so I said no, it was not a proper move. You got to show a little more finesse. You got to have what we call plausible deniability. You got to have a way to say, yeah, I wrecked him, but I wasn't trying to wreck him. But not only did he not show that craftiness on the track, hell, he said as much afterwards. He says all I could do. And plausible deniability was went behind the wall and into the garage pretty early after that. So
yeah, the tape doesn't lie on that one, and neither do its words.
A lot of times it's hard to tell, but that one's pretty obvious, especially when the guy tells you what he did and why he did it.
Yeah. Well, any last takeaways from this weekend?
No, we got 4 drivers within what you tell me, 20 points of each other. Yeah, not counting the guys who won races to get in the playoffs. Yeah. If there are we got 3 races left in the regular season. If there's no other first-time winners, you've got Martin Truex seems locked in there in the 14th spot, and then the next 4 are all within 20 of each other. So that's going to be a race within a race to watch. So keep an eye on that and everything else.
Absolutely. We'll be here. Thanks for joining us on Daytona Beach Motor Mouths, and we will see you next week.
Yep.